everyone, and welcome back to Myth Heist. Woo! Grace is back. Everyone point out that Grace is back. Grace is back.
Who?
Better and for
Wait, let me
worse.
full screen it. Wait, where's Grit? Yeah, okay,
Probably
still below
for
me. Hi.
worse. Hello.
I don't know where she'll be on the layout. She'll probably be first because she was introduced first. So
Well,
wherever
so
that is.
cute.
Rough.
So before we begin, does anyone want to say anything? Anyone want to say to the audience?
I really
I'm wanted in
appreciate
37
everybody
states.
who's watching and enjoying this, and I hope that we can bring a little bit of joy to their day.
Yeah. So Cryo's getting fired from this show.
Yeah, those are my parting words. It was great being here, y'all. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so as no one else wants to say anything, then we'll just jump right into it. So, I've got to put on the music. Previously, Myth Heist.
Dragon Ball Z. Oh.
I won't say anything. It's fine. So we last time we were here, we basically caught back up with the group as they were running through the house on Torm Street. Solving is a rough word for it, but solving various puzzles, avoiding is a nice word for it too, various traps, until eventually you kind of found the combination that you needed to get down into the basement, which you did, upon which you met an older tiefling guy who none of you asked his name, so you don't know his name. But you met this older tiefling guy, and he basically said to you, hey, I want you to rob this bank, and if you do, you can keep all the spoils from the bank, and also, I'll give you this house if you take me away from here. And you guys were like, that's pretty tight, we should go and do that. Little convincing was necessary for you guys, in robbing this very important, very secure, probably very deadly bank. But you guys like, yeah, why not? We'll go do that. So you all kind of agreed, and in a show of trust amongst each other, you all went to go and find some, or do some reconnaissance, find some intelligence about how the bank operated, and what you needed to do to kind of get a leg up on scoping out the joint. In doing so, you also got a brief understanding of how the bank is functioning right now, which is that the guy in charge is called Osidius Krem. Steel Bands of Krem is the name of the bank. What a coincidence. He's got two right-hand people, because he doesn't have a left hand. I don't know if you knew that. You've got two right-hand people, one of which controls kind of the finances, and one of which kind of controls the workers. And then underneath them they have the bank guard. And also they've reined in help from the next continent in the form of a mercenary group called the Adamant Dominion, which is bad news bears for everyone involved. So you went to go and get your intelligence. In doing so, the man formerly known as Jump managed to open a vault. He went and bought a vault for himself. And talked to your acquaintance about some interesting things that you had ideas for. Akan and Ulfgar had a tete-a-tete with a, is that how you say it, or is it tete-a-tete?
Tete-a-tete.
Tete-a-tete with some really Victorian style nobles. And Klein tried to figure out how he could talk to Krem's kids, which is not scary at all for them. And that took up most of your day, pretty much. So, at the end of the day, you guys will meet back up in the house on Torm Street, which is where you're all headed to right now. But before we do that, debt. You went through a similar experience where you went through the house and most of the puzzles were already solved, so you kind of had to just pick up the pieces of where they left off. But eventually you stumbled across the code as well for the basement, and you went through the basement to go and find this guy. And this older guy also explained to you how the heist is going to work. That you'll, whatever you find in the vault, you can take as long as you can fit it on your person. And also, if you succeed in this endeavor, the house will go to you as well, right? And then the following day, the day would be yours to do what you wanted. So, is there anything that you would like to do in that day?
To start,
Mhm.
before getting into that. Number one, is Lith with me?
Yes, Lith is with you.
Cool. Question number 2, what's this guy's name?
Should you ask about it, roll a persuasion check.
Hey, boy. Dex is very good at that, I say very confidently without looking at her character sheet. And my d20 flying. Persuasion, you said?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? 19.
19. You find out that this old man's name is Peregrine, like the bird. His name is Peregrine, and the surname is Nishar, Nishar. You are new to the city, so you would have no idea about anything about this guy.
Les?
Hmm?
What are we thinking?
I don't know. We should... I've never robbed a bank before. I don't know the first thing about robbing institutions. So... we should figure something out about that. That's what we should do. Yep.
Be worth it to try and scope out the building at all, perhaps?
Sure, yeah. What are we looking for exactly? Like entry points? Like ways to sneak
Entry
in?
points. Ways to sneak in. Windows, perhaps?
Okay, yeah, let's go do that. So the two of you, in the day, make your way over to the steel bands of Krem, looking as inconspicuous as possible. And while you're up there, what do you do to scope out entry points? It's a big building.
That's a very good question. I also just remembered you can't wild shape into something that has wings that can fly until higher levels as a druid. That's really funny. And really annoying at the same time. Rawr.
But you know what you could wild shape into? It's something that can climb.
It's true. I'm going to turn into a... Not an option. I was gonna say a tardigrade. That's not an option.
That's good, because I don't even know what that is. So...
like a little... I'll explain later. I'm gonna wild shape into a mouse. A mousey.
Okay. Sure. So you,
Brazen.
is this outside of the bank, or is this on your way up?
Outside of the bank.
Okay.
Like, still in the... Like, probably duck into, like, an alleyway or something nearby.
Sure, go ahead and roll a
Not
stealth
the-
check for me.
Just become rat, mouse, rodent
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of things. Oh boy, that's a great roll. 9 total.
Yeah, you duck into an alley.
That was serious.
in that you kind of walk 10 feet into an alley, and Lith like follows you in there, and she kind of like stands by, making sure that no one's coming in. And you see walking by you like a young mom with like 2 kids hand in hand as they're walking by. Just as they crest the alley is when you start doing a transformation, and you look at the one kid on the side closest to you, who's like a young boy, maybe like 7 years old, as like your body like condenses inwards and you begin to change shape, and he just looks completely horrified. You are uncertain of who he's going to tell and at what time.
Who would believe him?
Never know. Yeah, it's a kid.
Right then. This is gonna, yeah. Lith is gonna, mind link with Lith? I'm dead. What the fuck? It took
Dude,
me
that's
so
crazy.
long. Oh boy, I'm so sorry. We're gonna try that again. Det is gonna mind link with Lith. There we go. And go, right. I'm gonna go take a look. And hope for the best.
Good luck. Okay, so you
Get off.
toddle on off. So the building, I should clarify this because you weren't here. The building is kind of like a large cross-shaped building. It's got like this long, like the middle section is super long. It's probably like 50, 60 feet. I think that's probably about right. Long, and then it kind of has these like jutting outposts on the back end on either side. Standing at like the butt of the cross is where those big like entry doors are. And like they have windows like periodically through. It kind of resembles like a cathedral in a way. But it's much more like fortified and watched. The like roof itself starts from probably 50 feet up, and like slants upwards to maybe 60, 65 feet total. So it's up to you how you want to survey this.
I think Det will kind of see the main entrance, and then go around to one of the sides and see if she can climb up.
Okay, sure, yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Oh yes, I'm so very good at those. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20, baby. Yeah, you
23 total.
you scooch on over to the right side of the building, and you can kind of find where, like, you know, in those old-timey cathedral-style buildings, how they have, like, for no reason at all, like, little tiny, like, points that come out of the walls, and, like, I guess it's just, like a design choice. You manage to, like, find one of those, and then it, like, links into a crack in the stonework that you manage to, like, get your little mouse hands inside of that you can use to pull yourself up. Going, like, around the outside of a window rim, and slowly making your way up. You want to go onto the roof?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah. You make your way onto the roof. It's like a slanted grey-blue roof, with those, like, spikes on the spine of it. And you do also see, towards the very, like, I guess, where the center of that T shape is, there is also, like, a small tower that juts up above the roof, that is just one. It's basically like one room. It's kind of like an octagonal shape, probably 10 feet tall. It's there alone, and then it has this, like, spire type roof on top of that.
Very interesting. And there's like windows and stuff for that, or?
Yeah, there are.
Okay. Cool. And what is this building made out of?
This building is made out of stone. It's like worked stone.
Cool, 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 cool. Can I get in through that window?
You give it a look around. Those windows are all currently closed. It looks like they lock from the inside. So, in like one of those like latch things.
Yeah.
So to do so, you might have to... You probably have to wild shape smaller.
Better than a mouse. Okay. That will scurry around and see like toward the back and see if there's any other entrances, and then maybe head down. Then.
Yeah, awesome. So, that, like, central spire, like this hand motion, you guys, that central spire is, like, the only thing that juts up from the roof. And so the rest of the roof is kind of just, like, these slanted, rows of tile. And there doesn't appear to be a way in through the tile. But, you do take note of the windows... that are kind of on like a second floor, you imagine, that are towards like the arms of this T, of this cross. They are a little more prominent on the like higher up bit. And roll a perception check for me.
11.
11. Yep, that's all you see. Just those windows. There don't appear to be any cracks in. It's a pretty well fortified building. There are no guards up here. Is the only thing. Like this roof is one of the few places that's probably unwatched. And you have seen around the outside there are guards like stationed on the outside of the building.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That will make a note of that. And head on back.
Yeah, you head on back and meet up with Lith.
Yeah.
And you convey this information. Is there anything else that you want to do while you're here?
Nothing immediately comes to mind. No.
Sweet. Awesome. So we'll say that for the rest of the day, you kind of just keep an eye on that bank and scope out potential entry points that you can think of.
Yeah, she might spend a few hours watching the guards, like patrol patterns, if
Mhm.
they're patrolling at all. See approximately how long it is between when they change shifts or anything like that, if she can.
Awesome. Yeah. Go ahead and roll probably just another perception check.
I'm using a different d20. This one hates me. 17.
17. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you note the guards that you see, which are the guards in this like blue-gray armor. They do have a shift change on the outside of the bank at 3 o'clock. Is the one thing that you notice is like the actual individuals swap out for a new shift. And they do like slowly patrol around the outside of the building. It's probably just so that they don't fall asleep on the job, like it's to keep their minds somewhat active. And it appears that like they are kind of stationed every, I don't know, 15, 20 feet or so. I say there's a total of, I think I said it last time, but I don't remember what I said. We'll say 8 guards on the outside of the bank in total, like all the way around it. And about every 20 minutes, they move on to the next position where they swap with the next guy. So in every 20 minutes, there's like a faint blip where, like, if a guard is cresting a corner, they might not see you behind them, for example.
Okay. And before Det came down from the roof, could she see any kind of blind spots or points that are either less well covered or not covered at all from where they're kind of patrolling around? I'd love all the... Yep.
Yeah, I got you. I know what you mean.
Just talking with my hands.
Yeah, so... Let me see. Yeah, so it appears like there's two guys by the front doors, and there's two guys on the back end of the building, and there's one on either side of like the arms of that T, and then when it comes in and goes forward, there's like one guy on either side of those walls. So the main place that you can think that there might be a blind spot is in between the arm of that T and like the head of it, where the two places meet in that corner. That's one place where that corner is not as easily observed from the people who are standing on the like outward posts of that like cross shape, because on the long side there's a guard on that long side, but on the short end where the head of the T is, that is like a slightly, like, for them to see that, they'd have to physically turn around.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Right then.
Okay, and so you head back. So, we will do a brief time jump forward towards the afternoon. We'll say like 5 or 6 in the afternoon, as you guys all approach to the house on Torm Street. Who would get there first?
Are you asking us or asking yourself?
A little bit of both. I want to say it's probably either you or Klein who would get there first. You know what? Let's do rollies. You guys can both roll initiative to see who gets there first.
Rolling initiative for it. Okay.
Initiative, not just 20.
Nah.
Oh boy.
Whole
It's
initiative.
because we're fighting.
Jesus, we're rolling.
Fighting each other.
It's probably not gonna be me.
15.
7.
So Klein, you get there slightly over double the speed. You get there first. As you approach the house, there is no one outside. That Minotaur, who you did catch the name of the other day, the Minotaur's name is Halfgore. They are not standing outside right now.
Klein's sleepy.
I am EB. I will just walk through the front door really casually. And
Yeah, you go to
making
walk.
sure to not step on the rug.
You go to walk through the front door, and the door is locked.
Looks at it like confused. What time of day is it again?
It's like 6 in the afternoon, turning into evening.
It's like, Scheiße. And then just go around the side to that door that Jump was going to try and break into until I screwed him over the other night.
There's a window.
Oh, that window.
There are a bunch of windows in this place. Which
The
window
back
was
right
it?
one.
The back right one in the alley.
Okay, the back right one. So we'll say bottom floor, back right. So you
Yeah,
walk
it
all
was.
the way around to the back of the house, where like those diagonal corners are, and you see the window there that leads into. Oh no, there wasn't a window there because that was where the workshop was.
Oh wait, the workshop. Let me check the workshop door. See if they ever locked it after I unlocked it last night.
So you go back to the workshop door and you try it, and it is also locked.
Fuck. Ooh. Is it quiet enough around here that if I made my way to a second story window, I would not immediately like draw attention from someone on the city streets?
Yeah, not least of all because the way that this house is positioned, it's like right in front of a wall. So there's like a small like 10-15 feet like garden area of like the backyard, and then the wall hits because you're right on the edge of the docks. So if you're on the backside of this house, it's very hard to be noticed.
Perfect. I'll try the window that I also unlocked in the room with the chimney that is barely ever touched. In the idea that maybe they did not go into that dusty room that's never touched.
So that window, that room is on the front side of the house, so you might be noticed there.
Shit.
But the one in the master bedroom, which was where that mirror and painting were, that one's on the back end.
I'll try that window, and if that doesn't work, I'll just climb to the roof and jump down the chimney again.
Yeah, that. First of all, how do you climb? How do you get up to the second story window?
I don't climb to the window. I use my sneaky little trick that you know about to get to the window.
Got you. So you do your sneaky little trick to get up to the windows, and that one is also locked. Yeah, it seems that these people who run this house are probably fairly sensible about locking their house when they're planning a heist in the basement.
And Klein again, just Scheisse. I just go back to the chimney.
You go back to the chimney and this time you know where it ends, so you manage to climb down a little bit more successfully.
There we go.
And you arrive back into that really like trashed, dusty office space that you came into the last time.
I presto myself clean, and then with the knowledge that I may have to come through this chimney more, I start just prestoing the room clean. I will spend several minutes just prestoing all the dust out of this room.
Sweet, yeah. You start casting your incantations around this room and cleaning up. In the meantime, Jump. You approach the house.
Yeah. No, Jump in general probably wouldn't try the door. So he's going to basically walk down that alley and glance at the windows to see if it is visible, through the glass, make sure that nothing's shuttered.
Yeah, they're still visible.
And he's just going to echo straight through.
Which room do you want to echo into?
The back, probably that back right window, actually.
Into the master bedroom?
No, the first floor.
The first floor. That's yeah. So that one doesn't have a window on the diagonal because that's where the workshop desk is. But if you come slightly forwards, it's got one on the on the actual side of the house. So you just
yeah
jump in. Awesome. Oh yeah, you're in the workshop. You hear some things are being said from upstairs.
Did those things sound German?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. He walks back out into the main area, remembering the story of the rug. So even if there's a chase or something in the hallway, he's kind of dodging those in general.
Yeah, the rug has since been removed from its position in the foyer. As it turns out, it was destroyed when it tried to suffocate Ulfgar.
And Jump will just go, hello?
You hear movement coming from the room to your left. As the door opens, that's the room, as you go immediately into the left on the ground floor. The door opens wide, and you see this large, lithe, hairy arm push the door open and then recede. And then this as the wheelchair is pushed through. And you see both the old blue guy and the Minotaur come through to stare at you there.
Evening.
Did you come in through the front door?
No.
Good. I assume you have something for me then?
Yeah, got a decent amount of info. I figure, do you want it all now, or do you prefer if everyone else is here first?
Let's go downstairs. Is everyone coming now? Is there a meeting that I... Let's just go downstairs to the basement.
Okay.
And you guys just walk off towards the
Klein
kitchen.
like opens the door, hearing them talk out there. Just, we are going to the basement.
Oh! When'd you get here?
Previously,
Alright. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, so Klein, as you walk out the door, you kind of have to go right along the landing and then down the stairs. As you go right, what's your passive perception?
my passive perception 14.
Mm-hmm. As you leave the room, dead ahead of you, there's another set of doors, which you try to open and was locked. You swing by them and keep walking, and on the next door, into the next room, as you walk by, you almost swear you heard some kind of whispering coming from within inside it.
Stops, puts his ear up against it, and is like,
Roll a perception check.
"17.
Yeah, you kind of hear this, like, it's very faint and it is behind the door, but you kind of gently hear this sound coming from within, and you just about manage to make out the words, "I know what you seek."
Good for you, door whispers. I hope you find whatever you seek. Bye-bye.
As you turn and walk away, you hear it again say, "Enter."
Wait, what did it say?
It said, "Enter."
Oh. Stops, leans back, tries the door handle.
It's locked.
I can't, the door is locked.
The whispers return. Then pick it.
Oh no, I don't have a lockpick. I can go get someone else who has a lockpick, but I don't think we're supposed to go in this room. I think this is actually the one specific room we were told not to go into, which is, why are you in there? Did you get room permission from the man with no legs?
There's a pause after you ask that from the voice. It returns to what it was saying earlier, and it just says "enter."
Oh, okay. Well, I cannot do that, so I will talk to you later. Goodbye, door voice.
And so you leave. Akan and Ulfgar, how do you approach the house?
Okay.
This is great because it shows how everyone chooses a different option when tasked with the simple thing of enter into a building.
Yeah.
Ulfgar's gonna knock.
Yeah. You just walk up and doof, doof, doof. Immediately.
Kind of standing back a bit. Like,
So the rest of you are like, Klein is coming down the stairs. The rest of you are like almost to the kitchen, and Halfbill goes, "I got it," and just turns and walks up to the door, and opens it. Stares down to look at Akan and up to look at you.
Well, good evening.
Come in. It's about to be a party.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Metaphorically speaking. Anyway.
Will there be juice?
I could really use some food.
I'll see what I can do.
I am a fan of charcuterie
Appreciate
plates.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh my god. Uh, 18.
Yeah, as she kind of regains her position behind the old man, she's like, charcuterie. Okay, yeah. Just kind of mumbling to herself. As she goes around into the kitchen, pops in the code, and the portrait swings open. As you guys hit the top of the stairs, she kind of reaches over and clicks on the banister, and the stairs just into that slanted slide, and she begins walking down with him.
Oh, it's for wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah, dude.
It's not a trap. It's accessible.
It functions as both.
Clever.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Det, you arrive at the house as well. How do you choose to get in?
Is this thing? Were we told not to, like, keep this secret? Grace wasn't here. Dad would know.
You were basically told to remain inconspicuous, not necessarily to keep it a secret that you were visiting, but like, you know, don't make it obvious.
Oh, wonderful. I'm traveling with a bard. Okay.
Hell yeah.
You can be sneaky, though. Cool. I guess I'll just be a mouse again.
Okay, yeah, you decide to shift into a mouse again. As you do so, what part of the house would you like to get into? Through the chimney?
Don't know.
I don't know.
So all the doors and windows on this house are locked. It's like a square house, right? Or rectangle house. And the corners are like shaved off to be diagonal. And each of those corners have a big window on the top, a big window on the bottom. There's a door at the front, and there's a door on the back end of the house. But they have been locked so far, all of them. And there is a chimney on the top end, so it's up to you how you want to go in.
Okay, I'll go through the chimney, I guess.
Okay, so you turn into a mouse and start climbing up the side of the house.
Mouse on a house. Sorry.
Lithrain just looks up and disappears and reappears on the house because she's an Eladrin and she can do that. Actually, no, she won't because she wouldn't be able to get into the chimney. So she's going to do that through a window. That's what she's going to do. And she will meet you in that office. So you jump up to the chimney, climb down the chimney, and you arrive into an office that was previously caked in dust. A little bit destroyed and very bare in terms of contents. But now it's just a little bit destroyed and bare. There's no dust anywhere.
Cool. I will unmouse.
Yeah, you unmouse. In front of you is the door that leads into the hallway, the landing hallway. And as you leave this room, there's a room immediately opposite you. And as you take a right to go down the hallway, there's nowhere to go left. If you take a right down the hallway, there is another door on the left. Before the end of that room hits, and you kind of have to go around to get down the stairs.
Okay.
As you walk that way, and you pass the second door, what's your passive perception?
Why is my passive perception? 14.
14. So you, as you walk past the door, you begin to hear whispers. And the whispers say, "I know what you seek."
This is the room that we're not allowed inside, correct?
Yep. This is the one room.
Missed way too much. All right. Yeah. No.
You're doing something wrong.
I'm talking to a voice through a door. That does feel rather wrong, actually.
Enter. We will
Yeah,
talk more.
Shit's weird, man. Put this with me, right?
Yeah, Lith is with you.
You're hearing voices, or am I going crazy?
Passive perception of 14. No, I hear them. Yeah, I hear it.
I mean, I'm not tempted.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it doesn't spark my interest. I mean, I wouldn't have any means of getting in there anyway.
I don't think I do either. Get out of mice for the day.
Am I the only thief in the party with a lockpick?
I'm not a thief!
Yeah, they're don't have lockpicks, dude.
Yep.
We could do it again tomorrow. You could be like an ant or a spider and go under the bottom of the door.
I suppose. Why do you think we're not allowed in that room?
I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say it's probably something to do with the creepy whispering coming from inside it.
There's gotta be something interesting in there, though.
Oh, 100%.
Well, tomorrow then, or another day.
Okay. You guys also make your way down the main stairs into like the foyer, and then take a left in that building, or in that room, and like as you take a left on the wall, there is a doorway that you open, go through, and at the end of that hallway there's the kitchen. Take a left in the kitchen, and you find that big like portrait of Peregrine the man, in a younger form, standing behind a dwarven woman who is sitting. Yeah. Context clues would indicate that that was some kind of relationship that he had with her. And probably a strong one, given the fact that she's all over this house. Needless to say, as you crest into the kitchen, you find the butt end of this group making their way down the stairs. Which is probably, interestingly enough, as you crest the corner, you see the handsome Air Ganassi fella who just had a bard battle with Lith the other day.
Hey, I know you.
I thought he was talking about me. The
That's
other
the
handsome Air Ganassi.
Yeah, the other handsome Air
That's
Ganassi
the
dude.
Ganassi. Khan is going to immediately turn around and see Det and Lithrain.
You've got to be shitting me.
I can't say I'm entirely surprised, though. Were you?
Not entirely.
I mean, that was where we got the paper from.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you stole it right out of my pack.
You
Why'd
didn't
you crack
need
the
it.
code, though? Welcome to the party.
Well,
There's charcuterie.
I'll look forward to that then, I guess.
Charcuterie. Right.
As she's kind of looking at you, she now notices Ulfgar, who was there the other day but did not say a single word pretty much the whole time. And she's like, "So you're the partner in crime, I suppose?"
If that's what you would like to call it, sure. This is my pal here.
And you'll sling an arm over a con.
I'm going to roll a constitution check.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Akan is rock solid as Ulfgar does it.
Well then, I guess it's a double date. She like slings her arm around Det.
I didn't get your name, by the way.
Oh, that's
Looking at that.
right. It's because I don't think you earned it.
Is that not up to... Okay, well, I'm sure it will come.
If either one of the two boys glances back, they will notice that Jump has not only taken out his rifle, but has already racked a bullet in it just in case.
Yeah, Klein, where are you
What?
during this?
I'm
during this thing?
waving the whole time.
Okay.
The whole entry period. I just...
Do I clock the gun?
It's not a small gun.
Yeah, it's like a rifle.
Do we all, like, hear it?
Yeah.
No, it had come out, because I was just like, oh, let me throw it. And my stealth roll was 28, so I was like, I won't mention it until later.
And a friendly hello to you too.
Safety precaution.
Oh, do not mind him. He is rude and a pervert.
What?
I'll take rude, but I'm not a pervert.
You grabbed me in the night!
You might have been trying to kill me, and then you tried to kill me!
You grabbed
That
me
is
tonight.
a child.
There's no reason to jump to violence, boy. My name's Ulfgar.
And hold out a hand for a handshake.
To Det or to the
Either of
Eladrin?
them. I'm assuming they're pretty close together, so just kind of out in their general direction.
Sure. I can't speak for Det, but roll a persuasion check for Lithrain.
Um, 21.
Yeah, she grabs your hand and she's like very like as you guys touch, she's very delicate and like she moisturizes, yeah. She like very like gently grasps your like big, strong, rough, seafaring man hands, and you're like double the size of her. And she says, "It's nice to meet you."
Sounds like we may need to all get along here.
Yeah. Jump
Sounds like we're
pops
working
the,
together.
Jump pops the bullet out of the gun and pockets it. He's like, apologies, given the line of work, fair bit of caution. Jump.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage, you.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. 15 plus what? 1. 16.
Nice.
Is your name debt because you're in debt and that's why you're doing this job so you can money to get out of debt? And if so, once you're out of debt, would your name no longer be debt? Would you change your name to...
Break even?
No, 2 T's.
No, debt has
Weird.
1 T.
No. my name.
Oh, my name doesn't have any T's.
My
It
name has 2
2
T's
M's.
in it. D-E-T-T.
Oh.
Odd
Nice.
coincidence, actually.
It's
Bit
amazing
ironic.
we were able to solve that cipher. Anyway, patience pays off. Hello, Det. I'm
No.
You hear a voice from downstairs. Are you coming?
Woo! I go
Turns
slide
around.
down.
Down we go.
Jump kind of pivots back and waves back. And it's like, pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, as you go, you hear them say, with your crazy past perception, you hear let's say, "You think he's really a pervert?"
Hey.
Well, we are supposed
No,
to be the
on that
worst of the
one.
worst.
I mean, he did immediately whip out a gun.
Might not be the only gun he's been whipping out around us.
This is you.
Reputation precedes him, you know?
I saw that coming a mile away, and I still couldn't hold it back.
So glad.
This so stupid. Sorry.
You have the choice, by the way, of going down the like slanted, like basically slide, or if you want to change it back to stairs.
There's a slide there. I'm going down the slide, motherfucker.
Okay, yeah. So you guys managed to slide your way down into the cold, hard basement. You see inside, so the basement is the width of the house, and previously it had those like made-up stalls that you're all stuck inside as that test of teamwork or cunning. But they have since been kind of taken apart and put towards the corner of the room, where they're basically now just in boards. And instead, you can see beyond that desk and behind it the two boards that you are going to use for your heist preparation. As you all make your way down, you see him kind of... he actually grabs the wheels of the chair and begins wheeling himself around. It appears that he can do so. And he's thin, but he's... And it's kind of hidden by his clothes a lot, but he's not unfit for his age. And in the portraits and the paintings above, he did look like he was kind of stronger, definitely a more physically fit individual. And he manages to wheel around to the back end of the desk. As you all fall down, he says, "So, I forgot. These two are also going to be joining us. They arrived later than the rest of you, but I am sure they are just as capable. What have we learned today?"
I'll start. There's a foreign occupying force guarding the bank that's making all the nobles uncomfortable.
Adamant Dominion.
I see. This is
Do I know
good
the
to
Adamant
know.
Dominion?
Roll a history check. Anyone who wants to can roll a history check. As he starts
16.
writing it on the board.
History 18.
16, 18. This is also good on that. Yeah, so you two have heard of them. They are a merchant company that operate out of the continent of Parvare. So the continent that you're in, so the country that you're in is called Silthagard, and that rests on the eastern coast of the continent of Orit. In between that and Parvare, there is that ocean, which is basically filled with the collection of islands that make up the people that are the Broken Empire. And the Golden Company, the Adamant Dominion is, I guess they're like the Golden Company. They are pretty authoritarian, and there is not a lot that they will not do for a good thing of gold. You, Det, would also be aware that one of their higher-ups, their name is Alba Etali. They're like a early to mid-30s human woman who kind of has a reputation to the public as very charming, intelligent, diplomatic, definitely in a position of power, but it kind of has this rumor around her of being very sadistic and cruel. And if they've sent someone over here to lead the Dominion, it would probably be her. So that's bad news, because if they have ties to Krem and the bank, then a few things would be the reason for that. Whatever he would need more protection for is whatever he needs more protection for, but it basically just means that he's throwing his hat in the ring with dictators and people who are violent and not good people. That's what that means.
You want to talk about some of the worst of the worst. The Adamant Dominion are worse than all of us combined, and that's just for one of them.
Dandies to fascists. Wonderful. So that's who they are.
Yeah. They're the gold armor motherfuckers that are hanging out around the bank.
Yeah.
They're 2 lines of defenses, and we have like a board, right?
Yeah.
As Jump is talking, he's kind of like writing shit out, and kind of drawing out the bank, and he's like, you've got 8 people watching, 2 at the front door, 2 at the back, and 2 upstairs. So, I believe 8 of these. Yeah, 8 of these are Dominion. The rest are just your normal bank guard.
Yeah, as you are doing so, the old guy is also kind of like, you watch as he begins drawing the bank like off of memory and very well. He just draws the ground floor and starts kind of making a note of how many guards are in that part of the bank, and then he like starts assigning like circles for the Dominion and squares for the bank guard, and he like starts drawing them in places and looking back to you to see where they go, and you essentially get a position of where they would be inside of that like foyer room, that entrance room.
If I had to guess who's piloting them all, it would be Alba Atali. She's, how do I put this? Very confident, but secretly a sadistic bitch. If she catches you, if you're the problem, and if she gets you alone, I mean, you'd be lucky to die.
You see him
No,
kind of nod.
that would not be lucky.
Well, at least then it would be over faster.
But it would not be lucky.
One more thing I know. They're having trouble with the Dominion. Management, I mean. I spoke to whom I can only presume to be Theskvin, and she's not happy. Don't worry, I was being a noble. And I gesture at my glamored armor.
What do you mean trouble with management?
Well, the nobles are not enjoying the way the Adamant Dominion does things, and I took it upon myself to go lodge a complaint for Marjorie.
Well, I think I know that the nobles will not be happy with how things are going, because the Adamant Dominion might be here to stay a lot longer than any of us really like. Krem's planning on leaving.
You see the chalk that he's writing on the board with just kind of like squeak to a stop. What do you mean he's leaving?
The way they're moving, the way that they're acting, it's all not protecting what's already there. It's preparing to move things.
He kind of sits and like stares at the ground for a moment. You see the Minotaur just kind of like sidestep out of the room and walk upstairs to the kitchen. He's fleeing. Why would he be fleeing?
That I don't know. I just have it on good conscience that that seems to be where he's headed.
I see it. It's a trade. They're going to position themselves here, and he's going to go to Pavare.
Yeah. All I really know is that if he leaves, he's probably leaving the Dominion here to do what the Dominion does best.
Oh.
This is
And
not
then we're
good.
screwed.
The city guard is also not very happy with the way things are right now.
That could be useful. If the city guard's happy, or if the city guard isn't happy, then that could mean that the other bank guards aren't too jazzed either. That might be a point of weakness.
Yeah, I've got the urchins looking for some disgruntled employees. They're listening in the square outside the bank.
Gotcha. Well, as far as rotations go, Jump turns to the man. He's like, "Do you mind?" Like reaching over for the chalk.
Yeah, he just kind of and puts it down on the desk, and then wheels away.
He writes down the rotations. The bank guards in general rotating at 7 a.m., 3 p.m., and 11 a.m. Inside shift 5 a.m., 1 p.m., 9 p.m. And then the Dominion rotating at 12 and 6 and 12 and 6, and that no new guards leave, or no guards leave until the new guards are already there. Good luck getting past the Dominion, but if the bank guards aren't happy, maybe we could persuade them into being a little sloppier.
Bribery is an option. What are we going to do about Krem? He's going to be there. We cannot rob his bank while he's there. We'll have to find some other way to distract
always
him.
get him to go home.
Any of us know where he lives?
I do.
Damn, kid.
I can probably get in too. I was thinking that I could get in and I could find like a room, like a private room maybe, or one of his kids' rooms or his bedrooms, and then I have this, and I hold up a bomb.
He kind of like he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, a bomb." And then he looks at it closer and he's like, "Oh, a bomb." Like, kid, how strong is that thing?
Oh, it wouldn't kill you. I think. I could find a way to make it kill you, probably.
I mean, it would be a good way to get him out of the bank if he has to go and defend his family from a bomb threat. But
Where did you find
Oh, a
this
threat?
kid?
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be just a threat with it would be sufficient, maybe.
I like your spunk. That's it. That's good. That's good. I like this mindset. Okay, so spunk is a word. It means like bravado. Like it, you've got like a good attitude.
Yeah, like a face was pulled from the back of the room, like when you said the word spunk. Well, that would solve the issue with Krem, although I don't agree with maiming children.
I mean, we don't have to do it while they're in the room. I mean, I was going to, but I don't have to.
Well, it would settle the issue of dealing with him, but what about the minions? What about Theskvin and Califra? What are we doing about them?
I mean, from what you told us, they're not exactly threats.
Well, they have power over the bank. I'm sure they have panic buttons or whatever they have. We don't want to get tangled up in the Aegis Guard as well on the way out.
Fair. Jump looks over and sees Klein.
But he was like, "How do we handle them?" Klein just started making little quiet motions of violence.
Yeah, he looks over and he goes, "I mean, it is a high caliber rifle.
You have to take them out at the same time. You cannot leave one."
Do you think that they have like special keys to like the vaults and stuff that they have because they're like bosses? When we like
about that.
incapacitate them, could we like take them?
So, there aren't necessarily keys to vaults.
Oh.
They're passcodes, but the bank employees do have access to them, and I have one. I went and got it today to kind of figure out the process and how to get to them. So we have access to Vault 218. They scope out everything that's in there, so if it has any latent magic power, they'll know about it. But if you're lucky, maybe they won't know exactly what it does. They have all of the vaults on this big dial, and when you rotate that dial, it'll bring you to the right vault. As far as knowing how to get to Krems, I don't really know.
Wait, Jump, you said we have access. Is that true, or is it that you have access?
I have access.
Can you access like all of the vaults?
I mean, from the looks of it, I'm able to go down to the room, and if they have to go with me, but I can go down there, and all it takes is one well-placed takeout, and then suddenly I'm down there alone. Like magic.
Yeah, you take
There
him out
are-
as magic.
No, I don't
Use
have
the
ma-
gun.
I do.
Oh.
Well,
Thank
also
God.
this and the echo, like again, he like steps forward, and it's like his shadow is just left behind.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's kind of how I get around for the most part. Figure if we're laying everything out on the table, we should know what we're all capable of.
Oh.
I just talk to people. And it works.
That can be useful. The only problem is taking out a teller like that. There are two that are right by the vault, so even if I do, it's likely to get noticed.
Takes them out too.
Could be done, but then we attract. You got to think of it like a ripple effect. I take out the teller, which means I have to take out the guards, which means I have to take out the entire Dominion. I figured it was smart for us to have a vault, just so that we knew how the system worked, and worst case scenario, if we figure out how to disguise magic well enough, we might be able to sneak in some items of our own into the bank.
Like what?
But how do we get into the bank?
Anybody got teleporting magic?
9.
No.
There is a potential way up from the roof.
I can do that.
There's like
That's
a
easy.
tower spire on the roof. It's completely unguarded. But you do have to climb up there. There is a gap right here when they're guarding, and that will point on the board. Where it's a little bit less guarded, but if they're moving, it might become a little bit more of a problem.
You hear the.
What if I could get all of the guards to go to like one place, but it would put them all on edge in that one place?
You hear the voice
bad
speak
idea.
up one more, and as you point to it, he says, "That's Krem's office. If you manage to get him away from the building, then that would be vacant. But it leads to the staircase, which connects to either side of the ground level room, where all of the telling is done. So you could get in there. It would bypass the front doors." But you'd still have to sneak through to get to the upper vaults.
Right. Do you have any idea where Krem's vault would even be? Because I highly doubt they keep it on the dial with everybody else's.
I'm fairly certain it's deeper underground. I don't know the specifics of it, though. I don't know what you need to go through to get there.
Doors, probably.
It would make sense if Krem's office also had access to Krem's vault somehow. So maybe there's something in there.
With a bit of luck, you might be able to get the combination. Or a key. I don't know if it works the same way. I know.
I don't know.
The gnome, Theskvin, she might have the blueprints for the bank. It might be worth raiding her place, but it's not up top. It's as you go in the back right corner, there's a staircase that goes down. That's where she and Califra, their offices are.
Right.
I also know that further into the building, there's a room with something in it. I don't know what it is, but Califra has a key to getting past it somewhere on his person or in his office. That's all I know.
Gotcha. In good news, for those of you who are more magically inclined, there don't really seem to be any, and Equal, correct me if I'm wrong, there don't really seem to be any anti-disguise magic barriers or anything like that, so you might be alright doing that. But who knows, once we get deeper in, I was only able to get as far as your average civilian would go.
I wonder what the process for becoming a guard is like.
Probably a
I'm
lot
not-
longer than we have.
What about the process for looking like a god?
That can be done really quick. In fact, I could do it. I could make any of you an outfit for it, but you'd have to sell the part.
Klein could not. Klein does not think a Khan could either.
Nah. But
Equal, what are the odds that I've had to disguise myself as an Aegis guard in my life?
Let's say decently high.
Like, what are the odds that that would probably just be a disguise that I generally keep around?
Roll a d20.
13.
I would say you have a partial set. But you could probably, if you had money to spare, you know where to get one.
I also have money to spare. But he kind of looks over at Akan and he's like, you're generally around the same build as me. It wouldn't be the first time that I've had to try to be a guard. You're better off trying to be Aegis than you are Dominion. But I've got pieces of it. I could rig that together with some newer parts and you'd probably look the part just fine. Especially given, the fact that you look a lot more human than I do.
not Ulfgar, the big burly half-orc over there that I literally called guard when I was posing as a noble today.
I mean, I'm just saying that I already have the stuff that's your size, and if you're as good at talking to people as you are, you might be able to just convince them.
Oh, this is a twist.
You
I
are
didn't
really
think
good
that
at
was my
talking to
archetype.
people.
When in doubt, if you guys are willing to loan me some money, I could get an outfit for you. It would just be a lot harder because, you're bigger than me.
Well, how much are we talking about here?
Equa, would I happen to know?
How much to equip Ulfgar in a full Aegis Guard uniform?
Yeah.
Depends on what you wanted to do. If you wanted to fabricate it, that's probably somewhere in the range of, we'll say, 20 gold. If you wanted to hire someone to steal one, because he's not your size, he's bigger than you,
Yeah, but
prices
I'm
could
proficient in
vary.
disguise kits, so I figure if I just need the materials to fabricate one.
If you want to just get the raw materials and work for it there, given what you have, I mean, you could modify the one that you have. It will be a tight fit, but you could probably do it for like 5 gold.
Okay, let's say that I'm starting from total scratch, though, because I'm going to send both of them.
You're starting from total scratch. 15.
To get the both of you set up with what I already have, and then getting you a whole new set, not much, honestly. 15.
Get out. That's it.
I'm good at what I do.
I don't know. What do you think, Ulfgar? Might be a cool idea, you know.
It's
just,
an option to consider.
Well, I mean, with the way Theskvin seems to be running her staff, we could do the whole bribery thing that you brought up earlier, or we could knock a couple of them out. I mean, or we could do both. I don't know. I suppose we could stand in for a couple of them. And then do what? Correct me if I'm wrong. The thing I did notice was that the Dominion were more inside.
Yeah, they're more inside.
Okay.
It's almost as if they are being kept, not secret, but more low-key.
I mean, there's a couple of options. We could have you guys take over for the outside guard and allow us to have the gap that we need in order to get up top. We could get you onto one of the vault ones so that we avoid that cutoff of taking out the teller, the guards, and then the Dominion. And instead, I just take out a teller and you guys pretend not to notice. There's a lot of options. It all just depends on our plan of attack and, most importantly, if we know where to find Krim's vault. It could be that I take out the teller down by the vaults and then we don't have any way to Krem, and then we're fucked either way.
You hear a voice speak out from the other end of the basement that says, "Why don't we throw a party, and we'll get all 3 of them out of there to distract them, and then we can pose as, if we got magic or potions or something, we could just pose as them."
It's not a bad idea.
That would be fun.
The only concerning part is, say whoever's posing as Krem, he would have easy access to go in and get to the vault if he knows how, and I think it would be a little suspicious if Krem was asking where to get to Krem's vault. We're still lacking some information, but I'll be damned, that's a pretty good way of getting all 3 of them out of there.
When you say a party, what are we talking?
I don't really know. Party is just kind of where I excel. We could. Why don't we? Not a party, but why don't we make like a gathering for people to address their complaints to Krem and the gnome who's in charge of the workforce, and maybe that lady from the Dominion who's in charge of them. That'd get all 3 of them out of the building, and then we'd at max only have to worry about the other one, the guy with the secret nondescript key that will help us get past the room down in the basement. Actually,
It's true.
one of us could just stay there and keep him occupied for as long as we can.
Yeah, is that in tandem with the whole Ulfgar and I being guards thing? Because that would be you handling the party or gathering, and then Ulfgar and I being the guards, and I'm just trying to figure out how all this fits together, you know?
Then, well, that would leave 3 of you, right? That would leave Krem, and she points to She was going to point to Jump, and then she points to Klein when he waves. And Theskfin and Califra. Right? And points to the other two of you. And then you
Suppose
two
that's
could
right.
be guards, or whatever. You could change them around, or whoever's good at lying, I suppose, would be Krem.
That's not exactly my forte. I'm usually best as Overwatch.
I am good at lying.
Then so you could be Krem. I'm just throwing it out there. That's just an idea. We need magic.
And that is
You guys
where
are
I
clowns.
unfortunately
That's
lack.
Yeah, I guess Klein would also be roughly the same height as Krem.
Well, I mean, we could
Is-
either disguise them, or does anyone know any potions or something that could help?
I think I know where to get some.
Well, then that's a plan, right?
Mm-hmm. Like this one.
So the key is just figuring out where the fuck Krem's vault is.
And how to get to it.
And how to get out. And not die.
So here's what you need. You need to figure out exactly what your entry plan is going to be. You need to figure out how the next part of the bank is laid out, and where Krem's vault is, and your plan to get through that. And then you need an escape plan.
Oh yeah. We don't just get to the vault and win.
I mean,
That's a good point.
I might be able to watch him for a little bit, if that will help.
a lot of my abilities allow me to get in and out of places pretty quickly. The only problem is I can't take anybody with me.
It could be a spider for a couple hours.
Then the two of you don't even have to pretend that you are someone else. You can just go. And that would leave only the three of you that have to disguise. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
So we're starting to get onto something. You see from behind you, there's this, like, doof, 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 and coming down with a big board full of, like, sliced meats and little bits of bread and cheeses.
Charcuterie!
Let's go.
Just coming down and placing it gently down on the table. Help yourself.
Thank you, miss.
Them.
I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Jump.
Half gore. And she, like,
Nice to meet you.
wraps this big Minotaur hand around yours. And gives it a
He kind of like
strong shake.
half bows along with the handshake.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were getting shark. This does not look like shark.
Oh, that's...
So good.
I don't have that here. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it looks delicious
Shaki's
anyway.
good, so Shaki's a good food, so yeah.
I gotta sneak you into more parties, man. This is the best.
So, if I could potentially get you, and he points over at Det, into Krem's office before this all goes down, you could tail him as a bug and maybe figure out how to get into his vault?
See?
How tall is this building?
60 feet.
Ah, easy.
I think it's not too hard if you have the ability to climb. I was a mouse this morning to do it, and it was fine.
Could you get down to, and he pulls the bullet back out of his pocket, roughly the size of one of these?
I could be a spider. That would work.
I wonder if we could make a capsule bullet for you, and then as long as I get enough distance, I could just shoot you right up there.
That's such a crazy plan.
Oh, you son of a
Wouldn't be the craziest I've ever done. Of course, this is just to scope out, and you would have to get out on your own. But hey, it's a way in. Equa is sitting here going, "This is the crazy."
I have the funniest mental image of you attaching Det to a bullet and then firing, and her just hitting a wall and going.
That's why I said a capsule bullet. I'm sending her out like a Pokemon.
I can't wait for the G-forces alone. To
Yeah,
make her come out of
that's a great idea. You should do that. I
That
want to
shit's
see you
so
do that.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm one of the greatest sharpshooters in this city. God damn it!
What's the we need to figure out, first of all, what's the damage at terminal velocity, and what's the speed of a bullet? That's what we need to figure out.
Fast.
beyond terminal velocity.
The speed of fast.
Oh, I'm so fucking down to try it though.
Do it. What's the worst that
Question.
happens?
Based
You
on
die.
us being at the bank, what's the closest building? Like, what's the distance between those two buildings?
Yeah. So, and Det, you would know this because you were there earlier. The closest building is on the other side of the road, on the right-hand side of the bank. I want to say that's maybe 25 feet away. 25, 30.
I also can use crossbows. So
Line.
if we want to go slower.
Spider up to the top of that without
Bullet is
magic
so much
and
funnier.
without gun.
I mean, I can. That's. If you can do that, then hey. I was
Can't
just making
you
a
also
suggestion.
do that? You teleported up to like the roof the other night when you grabbed me.
I could, yeah. I feel like I would be a little more conspicuous. I am bigger.
If I can get on that roof, I can get onto the roof of the steel band.
That is correct.
He means the roof across the street.
Oh, I'm so... that was me misreading that. He was like, "If I can get onto the roof, I can get onto the roof."
If I
I'm like, "Yeah."
the roof, I can get onto the roof.
I was like, "Yeah, you can. Good job."
When you die, you're dead.
People die if they are killed.
Life needs life to live.
Well, then, hey, there we go. We get.
So,
Go ahead.
you go.
We get Det into the building as a bug or something. Let her into Krem's office, tail Krem for a bit, see if we can get him to go to his vault, which somebody leaving probably would visit it at least once. We know how he gets in, where to go, and bing, bang, boom. We're on the money.
That would be good.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about the fact that we want to fire Det out of a gun. I think it's so
It'd
funny.
be awesome!
It would be so good! It'd be so fucking funny if it doesn't work though.
You shoot a bullet into the top office and suddenly a corpse appears in there.
Hey, joke's on
All
you!
the guys from the bottom floor are like, what was that? And they run up
Oh
and
wait,
they're like,
no,
oh,
Wild
it's a
Shape.
corpse.
Wild Shape has overage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it's not like polymorph to where it hits 0 and then it stops.
Hey,
Yep.
hey. Hey, Krem, you want to see a magic trick?
I have this gun that makes corpses. Like, yeah, all guns do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but wait. This is a different kind of gun. Oh, God. I kind of wish I didn't say anything so that you would have done it.
No.
But that's
It would have been
fucking
so
funny.
awesome until Det died.
It still would have been awesome, honestly. Worth.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, in terms of escape, I've talked with my captain friend, Esso Vorm. He may be willing to give us passage, but I still have to speak to him tonight for his final decision.
Right.
I've got some help of my own who would rather stay unnamed for now, but, you know, let's just say they're very, very, very good at what they do.
So, like, tomorrow, that tails creme. So we find stuff out. Then once we find that stuff out, like a few nights from now, we host a party that gets all the people out of the bank. And then some of us pretend to be the people from the bank, and we sneak into the bank and we rob the bank.
Yep.
Okay.
I can keep an eye on all of you, because if we throw that party and none of us have to be there, and then 3 of you go in disguised, then I can, just keep an eye on heads, for lack of a better way to put it. Any wandering eyes promptly get removed.
Oh. Interesting. Jump, do you only kill rich people when you take the money and stuff, or you just murder people for funsies or for hire, or what?
I love Clyde.
Yes,
That's not an answer to the question I just asked.
it is.
It's not so. It wasn't a yes or no question. There was more in depth to that. Please choose a proper answer for the question I asked you.
To all of the above.
You just kill anyone.
Not indiscriminately, but I've done it for all of those reasons in the past.
Okay, see, that's an actual answer. Yes was not a fucking answer.
Kind of an answer, actually.
It's not so. It wasn't a yes or no question. Are you both just... Ulfgar and Akana the only smart people in this room?
Hey,
Speak for yourself.
I'm just gonna look at Ulfgar.
Well, I wouldn't claim myself smart, but
I would.
What's to say when all of this is said and done that one of you doesn't sell us out?
I've
Oh
worked
no,
on
I like living.
I've worked on so many jobs that you've never even heard of. I'm not a snitch. I like to take down people that don't deserve what they have.
Seem more likely to silence somebody that sells us out than anything else.
Maybe.
No, he has a point. Why should any of us trust each other?
You don't have
We've been
to.
doing it so far.
Are we not do we not trust each other?
We gave each other gold and didn't die in a puzzle house. I mean,
That's pretty good.
I've run on less.
it's just when all is said and done, you pick up this enormous sum of whatever, worth at least thousands of gold pieces, and I don't know.
And then you give it to people who need it or deserve it. Or if you're one of those people, you keep it. That's what you do.
Yeah. And what if one of us is the kind of person who would just keep it?
I'll be honest with you. The money is motivating, don't get me wrong, but Krem has been a stain on this city for way too long, and the fact that he brought Dominion into where I grew up pisses me off. So if I were gonna betray any of you, it would be pretty fucking stupid, because at the end of the day, I'd rather him dead.
He did answer questions that wasn't yes or no with yes. So we don't know where he lands on that level he just gave himself.
I'm more likely to take out somebody who's defecting from the plan than somebody who's trying to help me get what I want done.
Which is Krem dead.
Which is Krem taken care of. If we take him for everything that his pathetic ass is worth, I mean, I think that's as good as dead.
Ulfgar lays his hammer down onto the ground.
I think before we go any further, it is important that We know each other's motivations for this. You've already stated yours. What about the rest of you?
Klein wants to make Klein's mom proud.
Respectable. Wait, by robbing a bank? Like, there's a moment where he says it and then immediately.
Yeah,
Respectable.
yeah. No, my mom would steal from all sorts of people. She is a very famous thief lady.
Who's your mom?
Who?
Iman Devon.
Equa.
Do we know?
I don't think so.
Oh, is it a different region? I was gonna say, you mean to tell me an organized thief doesn't know a legendary thief?
Would she be described as legendary is the question.
How Klein
That's fair.
describes her.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, if you say I don't know, it's just... Who?
My mother goes around and she steals from rich people, and then she gives the money to the poor people, and then the poor people are like, "Thank you, Devon Deman," and she's like, "Of course, good citizens."
Does your mom go by any other names? Because
Maybe it's
Blue
translated. The what? The devil?
The Blue Devil.
Oh.
Blue Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Duke University?
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, Klein steals things to be like her.
I mean, hey, if it's
Maybe
in your
Zen
blood,
should
it's
come
in your
back.
blood.
Sure.
Oh, buddy. Like, he has a moment where he's like, yeah, I mean, if that's your... Like, he kind of has a moment where he just, like, covers his face, and he's like, oh no. Oh, fuck.
Also, it's really fun. Like, imagine if we broke into a whole bank that's designed specifically not to be broken into, and they're like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" And we're like, "It's just because we're better than you."
Do you already have your thief name picked out?
Fine.
You should probably choose one that isn't your name.
Oh.
I don't know if that's his name.
Like, Jump is not my
Like
name.
Jump. Yeah, we know.
I just want to take
Jump
Klein
is not your name.
and put him in my pocket
No.
and keep him forever. I love him so much.
But we asked what your name was, and you said we could call you Jump. That's not your name.
That was
You
right
didn't
after you
answer a
guys
question
met
the
me.
way
You
it
might
should
have killed
happen.
us.
Again, you just don't know how
might
to
have
answer
killed me.
questions.
No, I know exactly how to answer questions in a way that doesn't get me killed, Klein.
What about you guys? Turns to Det and Lithrain. You guys just
Yes,
arrived in the
Slash.
city, and you already want to make yourself very wanted in this city.
I
What's going
owe
on?
a lot of people a lot of money.
You were right. Like, he points
So
at
your
Klein.
name does have B.
I did say that the name was an odd coincidence.
He like offers a high five.
The first time the two of them have got along all game.
This is what we call character development, Equa. Shut the fuck up.
My mother works in Trestle, in a branch of this bank, and she is elderly and ill, and I'd like her to retire.
Grim never lets anybody retire.
Your mother works in the
Yeah.
Iron Bands.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not doing too well. Tried to do a big job to try and help her with that. Didn't go very well.
So you're from Trestle.
I am from Trestle.
Does she look familiar to me at all?
Roll history check.
Oh dear.
18.
No, she does not.
Interesting that you're from Treshel, as that's where I'm from as well.
That's... Never seen you before.
You wouldn't.
That's not ominous at all.
I mean, maybe you just wouldn't see him because he's like you were in different parts of the city, or maybe.
I mean,
he
to be
wanted
fair, I
out
spent
of
most of my
the
time
city.
in the woods and outside and exploring.
So you
so-
wouldn't have seen him.
Yes, I spent my life on the sea. Before this, I was a pirate. And
Are you a pirate now?
you, little lad, remind me a lot of myself, being raised as a pirate my entire life.
You were also a small tiefling.
Not quite.
Yeah, his horns like went down and became his teeth. See that?
Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
Did you go
What
to
about
the
you,
Golden
Mr.
Empire?
Conversation Leader? What makes you so sure you're not gonna shoot one of us?
I mean, aside from the obvious that I can't take y'all on. I grew up here, just like you. Don't know who my parents are. Street urchin. Been doing that whole thing my whole life, and you know, maybe I'm just sick of having to con people for petty change. You know?
Forgive me, but following your own logic, doesn't that just mean you'd want a bigger sum?
Yeah. So, you know, I was thinking of just leaving the city, actually. And you don't need a lot of money to do that. You just have to sign on and be willing if you're desperate enough. But I guess I maybe want to take some people with me.
You get
Maybe
to take
people
him. Points at the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I'll take our benefactor. But I have my gang. And I don't know if any of them knows anything but this. And I've hobnobbed enough with nobles in my time to realize things could be different.
You've what?
Hobnobbed.
Good word.
Mm. You get good at it. You can't really sustain it, though, because then they start to look you up and then they realize that you're nobody, so it's only here and there. So I can't really do that here. Better to just have a ton of money and take everyone I care about away from this place and start somewhere else where we don't have to be in the gutter.
Well then, congratulations. You've learned the first lesson of doing any of these big organized jobs. You can't be entirely sure that none of us are going to defect. You just have to prepare in your own sense on if they do. We all have our reasons, and all of them lead to ideas of greed. It's never fair.
I
And
feel like... Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
it's never fair, and a lot of times people step on each other's toes. But the best way to look at it, and the way that I have unfortunately been taught time and time again, is if you don't go in together, people won't make it, defecting or not. If we're not all in this together and we don't all agree, somebody will die.
Please don't step on Klein's toes. Klein doesn't wear shoes.
Wasn't planning on it.
Noted.
Nah, curve stomp them fuckers. No, sorry.
I think that worrying that we're going to betray each other is a quick path to paranoia.
That is the smartest thing you've said since we got here.
Thank you.
I agree with the kid. There's a reason that I just kind of went with it. If people are willing to bring you into highly illegal shit, it means there's an inherent level of trust to it. And you just kind of got to lean on that till the job is done and you all go your separate ways.
That's fair. Forgive me for being paranoid, but it's difficult to trust another crew when you grew up with one for 40 years.
I've met my fair share of pirates in my time. Yeah. You guys have more of a familial thing. We have more of estranged cousins.
You are 40 years old?
Yes, yes I am.
You look good for 40 years old.
Damn it, Klein.
Thanks, little buddy.
So what's your magic reason that you won't betray the rest of us then?
Well, I lost my crew out at sea and was saved by the goddess Avandra. For some reason I washed up here, and I think my goal is to join this task and give back. Such as Klein. I think we can all agree that Krem is corrupt.
Yeah, I dare say so.
This one's my favorite. That oof guy.
So then, can we all move under the assumption that we won't stab each other in the back?
I want to hear it from Lithrain. What about you?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really care to do that. And also, I like debt, and I don't really want to, be on her bad side, so...
If you like debt,
Put a bit of a damper on things.
Place to be.
He likes
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I like DETT, not DEBT.
Can Klein spell?
You caught it
I
this
must
time,
know.
but when Grace said it earlier, I was the only one who caught it. She said DETT, and I was like, nice. And no one else fucking caught it, but I'm glad you did this time.
I looked at the camera I've looked at the camera every time we've said TT. I just look into the camera. And I go back.
Can Klein spell? That's all I need to know right now.
Klein has
Very
above
important for
average
me.
intelligence. I just do not play Klein like Klein has above average intelligence.
He's got above average intelligence for a 12-year-old.
Can Klein read? Like.
Klein is literate. Klein.
As far as you all know, Klein solved the cipher too.
Well, I guess we'll just have to call you Double T.
That takes longer to say than debt. It's a lot
What about
less
DT?
eloquent.
You hear,
Also
DT.
takes longer to say than debt.
you hear Halfgore say, "And we're not gonna betray you because we told you to do this."
It'd be really weird if you... Well, maybe it would be like a setup, like if you was with the guards and you were like, let's trap all these thieves in something incriminating. And so you set a whole thing up just to find good thieves. And then when you find them, you have them plan out a whole bank heist and you keep all the plans as evidence on like a board, pointing at the dartboard.
Could I roll an insight check?
Said and done,
Sure.
you
That's a
just-
good point. That's my natural. What's my thing? The 24.
24. Yeah, Halfgore, the Minotaur, is telling the truth. Yeah. She's like, yeah, I don't think we're going to do that because, like, we gave you this job. And you look over to Peregrine, and he's, like, still, like, kind of seething there. Like, he always operates at least 60% anger. And he just kind of very quietly says, "I'm not going to betray you because I want Krem to suffer too bad." Did not think I would have to explain that, but it's true.
The cake brought up a good point. What were you about to say, right? That just rushes. What? No, I need to know. What?
Send it.
Were you two like lovers or something?
Me and Krem?
I I don't know. You act like he personally slighted you very severely, and I've only ever seen that from exes or family.
Make a
And you're
persuasion
not
check.
dwarf. And you're not a dwarf. Alright. +8. 21.
Nice.
No. He's kind of like sighs deep. I am certain that he had my wife murdered.
Oh.
Well, that explains a lot, actually.
You, Det, see he's like on the cusp of like speaking the story, but he is making a conscious effort to bottle it up and not let it slip.
Any information helps.
Were you
Make a
ever
persuasion
close with
check.
Krem?
You can make persuasion. Both of you can make persuasion, or you can make one with advantage, whichever one wants to do it.
No, it was your persuasion.
Not good.
Sev +1.
I also have a +1.
Then we should just both roll.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Woo.
Natural 20 for a 21.
14 total.
Nice. So
Akon and Klein sitting here with their like +8, +10s, like,
Yeah.
come on.
I'm not here to talk to people. I'm here to blow people's brains out.
I came from the woods.
So, Det fails that check, but Jump succeeds. And, so...
What?
Nothing. So he, like, you see his fists are kind of, like, balled, as you guys talking about this. And he just, kind of, like, begins to restrain himself and, like, loosen up a little bit as he begins to talk. He says, I was married, as I'm sure most of you are aware, to the woman in the portrait above this room. Her name was Constance. Constance was the half-sister of Osidius, and he also hired her to be the architect for the lower vaults of the bank. Everything underneath of the upper vaults which you have visited was all of her design. I don't know how it's laid out, and Krem and I were always adversarial to one another, but one day she came home after months of tiring work, and she seemed distraught about something. I couldn't really get it out of her. She said there was some mistreatment in the lower rooms. I tried to comfort her, but she was so rattled she went to go and see him, to get him to fix the issue. She, of course, was bound to secrecy by the nature of her work, and she took it seriously, so I didn't hear much. But when she went and came back, her mood seemed to have elated a little bit. It is my understanding that he promised her it would get fixed, and then, years later, it happened again. She told him that he needed to fix it, or she would go to the press and reveal everything. Well, the next thing I hear is that he took her to the bank to address the problem himself, and on the way, she was assassinated by some no-good gun to hire. They called her the Spark Shot. I think she's still at large today. After that, Krem didn't talk to me anymore. I pounded on his door, I demanded answers, but he hid away. I've only seen him once since. Never again. So this is a little personal for me. I'm not going to back out of this one.
Got it.
Anyone here ever hear of the spark shot?
Anyone who wants
bell.
to can roll a history check.
Oh shit!
Ooh, I love this dice. She loves me today. That's a 30-20.
Ooh,
I got a nat 20 for a total of 20.
nice. You two, you rolled? Or you three?
I got a 9. Yeah.
9. Okay. So anyone who rolled, I'll say about 16. You have heard of the spark shot. The spark shot is a assassin slash thief that is native to Port Gestra and has been active for a long time. They are notable not only because they've never been caught and they are reclusive and they are still active today, but because they seem to have some kind of firearm technology that they use in part of their assassinations. And since you two rolled natural 20 and above a 20, you would also note that that attachment seems to be a part of them. It appears to be like part of their arm. Is what how the stories go, and they use that to assassinate their targets. They're very good at what they do, which is probably one of the reasons that they haven't been called here, because that would be an obvious choice to rob a bank or kill Krem if that's what this guy wants to do. But makes sense why he wouldn't do that if he wanted Krem dead or the bank robbed.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, so the spark shot's like a crazy assassin lady with a gun hand.
Pretty much sums it up.
Does not matter. I'm sure they were just paid off. This town is full of thieves and murderers. Makes no difference to me. They'll get their rewards one day as well. But for now, and for the past decade or so, my attention has been on Krem. So we have a plan, yeah? We want to assemble a position where the higher-ups can lodge complaints to Krem and his officials. And you will do this, yeah? And he points to Lithuanian. Lithuanian goes, yeah, I can make sure that they're all there and keep them there as best I can. I'm not the most noble-looking person, but I think I could blend in. Okay, and the rest of you, you need to figure out how you're getting down into the vaults and getting out.
The spider that's in debt will do that.
Sure.
I'll help them get in and out and go from there. Once we have that information, we'll put everything together and make a solid plan of just what the hell we're doing.
Good. Then start arranging for this party. And he points to Lithuanian and also Yuakan. Since you have already a connection there, perhaps it's best for you to spread this word around. And let's aim for, how about 2 days from now, yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Doesn't matter where it is. You know what? You can hold it here if you need to. Although I think you will have some issues with getting Krem over. Just try and figure that out. And let's move on to assembling the next phase of the plan. As always, you're welcome to stay here if you need.
One more thing. Is there any discreet object that Krem carries on himself?
Krem has many things that he carries on himself. Rings, he has a pendant, earring. What are you looking for?
What does this pendant look like?
It's hard for me to remember. I think it's got some kind of coin on the end of it. Constance did not have one of those.
All right.
Oh. Klein has a question that is unrelated sort of to the heist, but also is kind of related to the fact you said we could stay here the night.
Yeah.
The door you told us to not go in talks to you. What's that about?
Ignore it.
Oh, okay.
And do not,
door.
under any circumstances, go in there.
Oh, so it's trying to get people to go in there, which is just a heads up. I don't know if you are aware.
It's trying to...
The door talks.
Mm-hmm. It was very nice. It said that it knew what I wanted, and then it asked me to open the door, and I was like, the door's locked, I couldn't open it. Also, I don't think I'm supposed to open it. And it was like, pick the door, and I was like, I don't have a lockpick, I'm sorry. And then it was like, and I was like, okay, goodbye.
I will see to it. Do not go near it.
Okay, be nice to the door. It was very kind to me.
He just ignores that.
All right. Well, see you guys in a couple days. Kind of like taps on the table and gets up.
Aren't you doing this with debt tomorrow?
I meant all of us, but yeah. No, I'll meet you guys at the bank.
We have to figure out how to replace a couple of guards.
Yeah, we want to just come here again tomorrow night, so with plans and stuff, and what we know now.
Sure.
I suppose.
Looks like a plan.
I can try to get my gang in on it. I won't tell them what's going on, but maybe they can help out.
Okay.
That's where I'm going tonight. So.
See you guys then.
Yeah.
And
Goodbye, not
Jump-
jump.
Jump gets up, kind of waves, and heads out. Equa, I figure you know exactly what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna find Felder.
Yep, you sure do. So, Jump toddles off. The rest of you are all dispersing to your various resting spots for the night, I assume?
I was gonna ask if Ulfgar wanted to come with me, but...
I was gonna go to the docks, because Captain was supposed to have an answer for me.
I can go to the docks with you first.
As those two were about to head out, Klein was going to be like, hello, Klein would like to take you up on your prior offer of staying places.
Okay, you can have the guest bedroom.
Okay. Turns to Det and Lathrone just... Where are you two going?
That is the question, isn't it? What say you, Lith?
It doesn't matter to me. I'm happy to go. I mean, if you want to go back to that cozy little hotel, we can do that. If you'd rather stay here, then we can.
I mean, cute little hotel, not having to pay for lodging.
We can stay here if you'd rather.
It's a nice house.
That will
Oh.
telepathy with Lith and be like, also gives us an opportunity to look into that room.
You hear her out loud. I think you're right. Yeah, we waive the fees.
Waive the fees.
Sleepover!
You hear him say, I only have the one guest bed, but...
Sleepover!
I spent most of the time in the woods. We've been camping the whole way here. I'm fine sleeping wherever.
Okay, and Half-Gore says, "I'll show you up."
Oh, Mr. No Legs, I dusted the dusty spare office. By the way.
Yeah,
Oh, you're the one that cleaned it.
Yeah. They've gone through the chimney twice now, and it was very dirty the first time and the second time, and I thought that if that was something I risked doing regularly, I would not have it be dirty.
I was wondering why the chimney was very clean. Well done.
yeah, he
yeah,
is turned to face the board, so he's turned away from you guys. And when you say that, he just kind of like moves his head to the side and down, and then just moves it back to studying the boards. He doesn't really say anything back to that.
Okay, good night.
So, Half-Gore leads you up into the kitchen and then around that hallway, back up the stairs, and back to the left, past the room that you heard the whispering from, and into the room opposite of the office. You see she pulls out a key and unlocks it, and opens it up. And it's a pretty bare room. It's your standard. It's got a bed and a dresser. And sitting next to the bed is a broom. And she goes, "Oh, I should get rid of that." And she walks up to the broom and kind of like, and just grabs it. And as she grabs it, it instantly starts like writhing in her grip. This broom was animated. And she like holds it there and just fights with it as she leaves the room.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was, if you'd have gone into that room, it would have beat your ass. Which I was really looking forward to, but it's fine.
Imagine
Flashbacks
getting
to
beat up
Curse's
by a
Strahd.
broom.
Yeah, imagine being beat up by a household object, Ulfgar.
Perfect timing on taking.
Man, I would have loved to see Grace go through everything that we fucking went through.
Hey, it was a cool dungeon. Oh well.
I can't wait to see it when it comes out.
Klein,
I don't want to talk about it.
As we're all getting settled, is just like sleepover. We can stay up late and talk about the boys, and we can talk about our feelings and dreams. I don't have nail polish.
I don't.
You hear it. That's okay. I do. And out pops a small vial.
I love this little man so much. This is the best character you've ever made, Cryo.
So
I don't
Oh,
dream.
real quick, can I say before Ulfgar and Akan left, I asked where they were gonna be tomorrow.
Sure.
What would I
Tomorrow.
have been told by you two?
Yeah, I guess if you catch us on the way out. Yeah, Wolfgar, what are we planning to do tomorrow? Because I want to go with you to see your captain now, and then we gotta head back to the hideout. You know?
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of depends on what the captain says, but I'd like to visit that coffee shop one more time.
Ah, yes, and meet.
It was really good coffee, and perhaps you can run into your girlfriend again.
Yeah, totally.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, total accident.
That's cool.
She has a really cute rat, too.
Oh,
Was that a rat? Yeah, and maybe you can come with us. I
That
don't
would
know.
be fun. Klein did not have a thing to do tomorrow, so Klein was coming up with ideas, and Klein figured that I'd stay with you while you were doing that until I came
Well,
up with an idea.
I was thinking maybe we could pull on the Theskvin and Califra angle a bit more. See to it that the staff are a little more disgruntled than they should be, because some of the urchins might have heard a thing or two today.
Ignore that.
And see,
trying.
I was thinking we could talk to these nice gods that I knew and let them know, maybe subtly so, that Krem is planning on taking a bunch of the city's money and leaving tyrants in charge while he's gone. I imagine that wouldn't make them too happy.
Well, the coffee shop is nearby the bank as well, so...
Seems like everyone's unhappy with the bank lately.
Third option, compared to not robbing it and robbing it, you blow it up. I have this. I hold up the bomb again.
Does that penetrate the dwarven architecture? Yeah, I didn't think so.
I think it could blow up a trash can.
Okay, so we find Krem's favorite trash can.
Mercy.
Okay.
It could be a good distraction, something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Unorthodox.
Then I would
but...
say goodnight. Then I just say
yeah,
goodnight. Then I go to sleep.
Good night, kid.
Okay, so let's go deal with Jump first. Because if I don't, I feel like Glitch is gonna explode. So you throughout your usual means of communication.
There's a little bit of like the usual means, but it's also like meet me ASAP.
Yeah, you choose the bell tower again.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you go up there and wait a little bit before you hear it from behind your shoulder. And Felder is there.
Best there ever was.
Are you good, or you said ASAP and...
So the job might have just gotten a little more complicated.
Why's that?
Did the spark shot ever work for Krem?
No. The spark shot did not.
So at no point was the spark shot responsible for killing a woman named Constance.
The spark shot may have been attached to that. What are you saying right now? Why are you bringing this up?
I believe that the spark shot may have been hired to kill our client's wife.
Son of a bitch. And Felder just kind of like sits down at the edge of the bell tower. Yeah, I was. But okay, so the client's her husband, huh? That old fart who has been reclusing himself away for 10 years.
No point in hiding it now, because I kind of need to understand the underlying conditions that now surround me working for this job.
Well, the first thing that you should do is not mention my involvement at all, because you will die, I'm pretty sure. I think he will
Understood.
kill you. The second thing to note here is that okay, so I did kill that woman, and I was paid for it, but it was not by the current Krem. It was by this Cram's dad.
Interesting.
His father's name was Eminus Cram. He was the father of Osidius, and Osidius's mother and him ended up splitting up when they were just after they had Osidius, and she wound up with some other dude, and then they gave birth to Constance. Cram was attached to was the impression that I got. They were both pretty, thick and thin as far as relationships go, and it makes sense they were siblings. But I don't think that Eminus really liked that about her. I think he thought that they were better than her because she didn't have his name or his blood.
Right.
But he didn't do anything untoward to her while they were growing up. I mean, he was not really involved in her, and he just sort of let her be. But when Cram got older, I'm a little foggy on the details of this because Eminus did not tell me much. But I'm pretty sure that Cram hired her for something in the building, and she was like a long-term employee.
An architect.
Yeah. And then she got word of him doing something bad to one of the creatures down there, and I guess it died, and she got in a tizzy about it. Oh yeah. Well, we'll get to that. I did my own research today. We'll get to that. And she got in a tizzy about it, and she was real unhappy about it. He said it was gonna be fine and that he'd work on it next time, and then he brought something else in and ended up doing the exact same thing to that. And when she found out about it, she said that she was going to expose him, and the way I understand it, he was going to go down with her and fix it, right? He was actually going to put in the work, but his daddy-o thought that things were perfect the way that they were, and her threatening to expose him was just the final nail in the coffin. I guess Osidius came to him crying that he was, being threatened, and he wanted to fix it himself, and Eminus said, that's a stupid fucking move. But he was going to go do it anyway, so I got paid to off her and make it look like I was trying to off him.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted some clarification as to what Spark Shot may or may not have done as far as
believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that old coot down there, I'm pretty sure he thinks that I was trying to kill Constance, which I was, but most of the city thinks that I was trying to kill Cram, which I was not. So really, he's half right in the other half that the rest of the city is half right in. You know what I mean? Like, they got half of the picture right, and he's got the other half of the picture right, but they're both wrong.
Yeah, because really, there's a third player that nobody has considered in all of this.
Yeah, but here's what gets real shady, right? Cram, from what I heard, was distraught by the death of his half-sister, okay? A week later, no one knows where Eminus is. Not a one fucking person. Then, like a week or two later than that, it's announced that he just passed of old age. And if you ask me, something ain't right with that. Now, I get it. Osidius is a weaselly fucking bitch, okay? Who gets threatened by their own sister and then runs to their father crying about it? You know what I mean? Instead of just addressing the issue there. He's clearly not a strong man. But if you ask me, in my professional opinion, he must have done something I don't know if he hired someone or what, but there's a reason his daddy didn't last long.
Strange trade-off, all things considered.
That's what I'm saying.
What else do you know about what's going on in the vaults? Because tomorrow we're aiming to get someone inside of Krem's office, see if we can maybe find an access point.
Well, I learned a few things. First of all, the vaults that you see down there are just for like the regular folk, right? Supposedly, Krem has a vault, and then Theskvin and Califra both have vaults way, way deep underground. And the vaults on the upper part of the bank are not just vaults, right? You know, I don't know if you know this, but they like spin around, right?
Yeah.
It's not just for them to get sorted. It's like an unlock button. It's a combination key. You have to find the right combination of vaults. So if the opening into the lower vaults starts with a 16, then you have to move all the vaults around till 16 is in front of you. And then if it's like 350, you move it back around the other way until 350 is in front of you. Just like a regular safe.
Right. So we're just dealing with another dial.
Exactly right. You just need to figure out the combination.
We can do that.
The other word that I have is that, and this is going to be tricky for you guys, because I'm pretty sure you said you were part of a big group.
5, 6 people most.
So here's what I heard, and I heard this through a contact at the Nippers, and I don't know how realistic it is, but it seemed fairly reputable. There's a part when you go down there where the path branches into 2 separate rooms, and each room can only have 3 people in it max. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get through both of them at the same time, because they all operate on the same door. I don't know how, but they're connected. And I know that the names of them, that the bank guards refer to them as, are the True Serpent Room and the False Serpent Room. And I guess that's Krem's like most proud defense that he has.
Do you mean this all comes down to the age-old riddle of one of us only tells truths and the other only tells lies? Is that what you're getting at?
You know what? I don't know, but if that's it, that's fucking cheap. For a guy with all the money in the world, I would be disappointed.
Okay, well, complicated as it might be, we have another step forward, and I can't thank you enough.
It's alright. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help to you, but kind of is what it is.
Honestly, knowing what motivates Krem a little bit and knowing more about what might have happened, we might be able to use some of the Spark Shots knowledge. But I do have another question for you, just for safety's sake. You made the gun on my back, you made the bullets. If I were to use an anchor, how likely would it be to get picked up by people in the bank?
Well, the bullets are themselves magical, so depends on how you get it past them. If you were to, I'm pretty sure that I'm not pretty sure. I'm unsure if the vaults themselves, the upper vaults, if they have magic detection in them, or if it's just the tellers that have the magic detection. So, figure that out, and if the answer is no, they don't, then you could just slip one in and a bunch of gold and just throw it in there. put in a piece of
At the
furniture.
very least, that they go through almost everything that goes there. By the way, congratulations to us. We now own Vault 218.
Great. That's fantastic.
Hey, on the bright side, everything doesn't work out, but we don't get caught. Shout out to the insurance money.
Sure. If we don't get caught, it'll be a miracle.
We can make a miracle happen. But okay.
I'm gonna assume that the old man was still pretty bitter.
Bitter's putting it lightly. It seems like if he dies before this is seen through, that it would be an injustice to the world. He claims that the spark shot will get what's coming to them eventually, but a hired hand's a hired hand, and even he kind of accepted that. You don't know or care who we kill. If the money's good and it doesn't seem directly detrimental to us, then that's how it goes.
You know, he's right. You, me, and all these people, we ain't good people. And we'll get what's coming to us eventually, but when the devil walks up to me and tries to claim my soul, I'll be ready. She kind of like holds up the arm cannon that she has.
Don't go trying to kill the devil yourself. I understand that we're not inherently good, but Barely's dead.
The devil came for Barely.
The devil came from
Not sure what happened
Burley.
there.
I understand that we're not inherently good, but I also understand that on occasion we choose fights because we believe in them. So I choose us as gray as at best. So,
Yep, I understand. I don't know if Krem's an evil person, but he's a greedy motherfucker. And, I don't much like the Adamant Dominion being here. Not on my turf.
way I see it, even if it's not the best thing to do in the world, taking down Krem and stopping the foothold of the Dominion stops more people like us from being born. And
Yeah.
if what you say is true, maybe that's a good thing, all things considered.
Well, better not fuck it up then.
Try my best.
Well, call me when you need me. I'll be round.
Right. I'll let you know what we find out tomorrow.
You kind of just nod, low and slow.
Be good. And Jump kind of just like walks off the area of the bell tower that he usually does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you do. We will shift over to Akan and Ulfgar. You are heading down to the docks, which is really not far. You're already basically there. You just need to kind of turn the corner and go and find the wake, which you do. You do find it very easily. It's moored in the same spot that it has been for the past 2 days.
All right. Ulfgar boards the ship, and assuming the captain's probably in his quarters at this time, we'll head there.
Yeah.
Khan's gonna kind of sheepishly tail behind him.
Sure.
And
You,
he'll knock on the door.
yeah, you knock on the door, and you hear the voice from inside say, "Come in."
Ulfgar walks in.
Good evening,
Khan
Captain.
stands in the doorway.
Captain Vorm is sitting at his desk, kind of writing on a piece of parchment. Big, like, hat that's like a triangle, kind of low over the brow. That like long bluish coat dripping over the sides of the chair, almost touching the floor. And he kind of puts the quill down and sits the chair back and stands up and offers a hand to shake. Good evening. I'm sure you are
Good
here
evening,
to talk about your proposition to me.
Yes, sir.
I've thought this over, Ulfgar. It's been a heavy day of thought for me. I may not agree with what you are doing. Not really. But I still believe you to be a good person, to have good judgment. And I don't think it's the worst thing for the city. I will help you, but you'll have to find a way to get from the bank to here, quietly, covertly, and quickly.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate your consideration. I will make sure that no harm comes to you or your crew.
Do not make me regret this. And also, I want a cut.
Of course.
Good. Then tell me what time you're going to appear, and I will have the ship ready.
I will let you know once our plans are set in stone.
Good. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I believe that's all I have, Captain. Thank you again.
And he'll go out for his handshake again.
Yeah, as you go and clasp each other's hands, you almost feel the shockwave around. The water parts away as the just pure testosterone overpowers everything in this room. Yeah, you shake hands and nod to each other.
On is knocked back 5 feet.
Yeah, just into the water.
And as Ulfgar begins walking out,
I want to try to communicate with her one more time. It shouldn't take too long.
and Ulfgar will start walking towards the nearest shore and just try to connect to Avandra. Again, kind of making sure that he's reading this situation all right.
Okay, so you sit down, I guess, on the edge of the pier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you sit and focus for a while. You can roll either a wisdom or a charisma check.
I'll do charisma. And 7.
7. You aren't exactly sure what it is. Whether you're being blocked by something or whether she's just, her gaze is not on you right now. But you can't seem to grasp the right kind of footholds that you need to establish that base, like, talking connection that you need with her right now. You just can't seem to manage it.
Ah, hells. This is so frustrating. I've never been a religious man. I know that she saved my life, but I can never connect to her. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
Ulfgar, you are doing the right thing. Pretty much everyone we've talked to agrees that this is the right thing.
It can be seen that way, but I would have ease of mind just getting confirmation from her. She saved my life, and she can probably take it away.
Do you want to try again?
Sure. I'll try it one more time.
Cool.
If the
Akana's
DM
gonna-
allows it.
Yeah, if the goddess allows it, right?
Yeah.
Akana's gonna pull out his flute and play just this really, really tiny tune. Kind of like a sea shanty. Just like one line from a sea shanty.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it.
Yeah. Are you inspiring him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, with Akan's aid, go ahead and roll another check for me.
Am I actually rolling this with Bardic Inspiration, or
If you want
just
to.
a normal roll?
Bardic Inspo is a choice. So you can save it or you can use it.
I didn't even need it. That is a 23.
23, yeah. You sit down and you meditate, and there's something about the music that just kind of drifts on the wind, surrounds your space, and it quiets the nervousness of your mind. As you try and hone your hearing in on that music, it almost seems to come and go, to get quieter and louder and quieter and louder. And at first you think it's just Akan's playing, but then you realize it's moving in tandem with the waves. It's just resting there. And you return to a place that you are comfortable in, and a place that you are also a little scarred from. As you envision yourself in the water, you feel your body begin to rise, and there's a pressure around you that just seems to alleviate. And you can feel her almost as if you're both just standing on the ocean in the middle of the sea. Just you and her.
Ulfgar will kneel.
Yeah, you kneel. Your vision is still black, because you feel your eyes are closed and they almost won't open. But you know she's there, and you kneel, and as you do so, your knee goes onto the surface and your hands go down with it, and you can feel the water just hitting your fingertips.
My goddess, I need to know. Is this the path of redemption that you have sent me on?
There isn't necessarily a voice that comes out here. But you more so feel or experience kind of how you used to be in that life of piracy. You revisit in your mind what happened when the ship went down, the things that did it to you, and how you barely escaped with your life, and how you just washed up here on the shore, and you kind of feel that moment like there's a pin in it, like that was a key. And then you see that like direction of you waking up and seeing Akan, and that moment feels like it has a pin in it. And going on forward and forward with each important place where a choice could have been made, you feel that distinguish itself in your mind until you get here. And you sense that two paths diverge here. You can keep going forward, or you can walk away. Which one would you like to explore?
Move forward.
You turn your attention to that and you start walking. And as you do so, the images flash into your mind again of the outside of the bank, of going in with your people, like with your new crew, of the vaults, which you've never seen before, the vaults on the upper level spinning and then going the other way and then spinning again, of a room with a like bright orange glow that is surrounded in metal. And then to another point, you see like this corridor, this hallway, and it splits into two. There's a sign in front of each like road, and as the roads go, they shift out to the left and right, and then they curve. So the one on the left manages to climb upwards, and the one on the right manages to climb down. The one on the right reads False Serpent Room, and the one on the left reads True Serpent Room. And you feel yourself being pulled towards the left path. As you do so, you follow up that hallway as the edges of like the ground begin flecked with ice until you come to a hole in the floor, and you look down and there's a boat on water, and that has a pin in it. Like that moment, that's a moment. That's something that you need to experience. It fills you with nervousness and anxiety, but purpose. That's what you feel.
All right. And kind of assuming he falls back out of this, he just kind of ends his prayer.
In times of storm and raging tide, be our shelter, our beacon, our guide. Bring us safely to this destined shore, with your grace forevermore.
And he'll kind of stand up and look at Akan.
Thank you, friend. I believe I was able to connect to her.
Yep.
We have a lot to
And
talk
put
about
down.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Will you come with me to the hideout? I'm sure Rovis is gonna hate that, but
Well, I don't mind, but if your lads won't like it, then I can always stay at the tavern.
I don't care. They don't get anywhere doing the things they like, so
Well, I'll visit tonight and we can see how it goes.
yeah.
Worst comes to worst, I'll just bash their heads together.
Not too hard though. Shall we?
Lead the way.
So Akan is gonna lead Ulfgar back towards the hideout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get there in a little time. You know exactly where it is. You just have to weave your way through the city streets. As you leave from the docks, Ulfgar, the pendant that you have that signifies your allegiance to the Tide Changer, it's a little warm. You just take note of it. It's just a little bit warm. But away you go. Until eventually you come to the hideout. Sitting in the hideout, currently, because it's not super late at night, currently is just Rovis. Just hanging out there. Kind of
Just
picking
Rovis.
something out of his teeth.
Alright, cool. So I bring Ulfgar in.
Yeah, you just kind of crest the corner. Ulfgar lumbering behind you, and he's like, "Oh, cool, all right. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good evening, Ralph.
Yep, it's not my
Hey.
name.
Rovis. Ulfgar.
Yes, Rovish.
And the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Chubdad.
It's cool. So, what's how was your day? Find anything new?
Let me answer that question with a question. Have you spoken to Davin at all today?
Not much. Just they went out and was doing the rounds, I think. They'll probably be back later though.
Cool, yeah. I mean, we gotta talk. Did the little kids come around?
They didn't come around here, but I did speak to them a little bit. They said for me to tell you, this is a lot of information, so I'm probably gonna get some of it wrong. But they did tell me to tell you that people hate the gold ones, and the fancy pants have special vaults underground, but you've got to be really rich to get into those. And something about a tall guy who works for the bank who's got something around his neck. I think they said that he was one of the higher ups, and there's something around his neck that he won't let go of, but Heskin wanted to pick it.
I don't remember. Did they mention the appearance of, what is his name? Califra?
Of Jorth? Yeah, I don't remember if they mentioned it or not, but for reference here, Jorth is a tall and thin half-elf guy with short hair and kind of real small, like, half-moon spectacles. He's very, like, quiet and introverted, and he really just likes to sink himself into the paperwork and the finances of what's going on at the bank. He's probably very good at what he does, but he's not much of a social creature.
The tall one with something around his neck did they happen to get what he looked like? Was he a half elf with glasses?
Yeah, that was him. Eskin said that he found him going at lunch or something, and he said that the thing around his neck was he makes it come across as it's like a necklace, which it is, but it's not really, because he said that he's got an actual like little chest, like a little treasure chest right there, and it just caught Heskin's eye, I guess. I don't know, he thinks he's a pirate or something.
Yeah, so, Rogus, have you, well, I guess maybe you've pieced together something by now.
What about your employer? Yes, I have, and let me tell you, that's a fucking doozy, alright? Because I'm pretty sure that his wife was accidentally murdered when Krem was attempted to be assassinated by the Spark Shot. This was a while ago, like 10-15 years ago. And that is fucking mental, by the way. So I guess he probably thinks that Krem like pushed her in the way or something. I don't know. I don't know why he would go after his brother-in-law, but that shit's wild.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I was kind of hoping to talk to everyone once they got here, because I guess cat's out of the bag now, what I'm clearly trying to do, and I know that's the kind of thing that you always advised against. You're like, don't fly too high, don't risk your neck, and here I am, risking my neck in the most overt way possible.
Well, I mean, they'll be around by tonight, so we can have a group convo. Kind of looks past the Ulfgar. But, I don't know when they'll be around, you know.
Yeah. It's okay. We can wait.
Cool. So, what do you like to do for fun?
Is he talking to Ulfgar?
Yeah, he's talking to Ulfgar. You aren't.
Listen, lad, I work hard. I don't do many things for fun.
That's cool. It makes it easy for us to hang out, I guess.
Well, maybe you can show me some things. I've never really gotten to experience fun.
Ulfgar was a pirate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, stories.
40 years,
cool
lad.
shit you got up to.
God, you're old. Okay. He just kind of like starts fidgeting. Tries to think of some games that he can figure out. It's like talking to your friend's dad, who when you're a teenager, who like wants to be part of the group, and you're just like, yeah, all right. And he's just kind of like sits there and thinks for a while, and then just comes up blank.
Hey, Rovis.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, normally it would be go out on the town, do a con, see what we can dredge up. But with luck, this thing works out. None of us is ever gonna have to do that ever again. You don't think I'm taking the whole thing myself, do you?
Well, no, but it better be a lot of fucking money, because you're about to expand your crew by a fair few heads.
Mm-hmm. They're good people, I think. We had the whole betrayal conversation. We always joke about that. Yeah, I kind of think that this actually could work. You can call me crazy, because no one's robbed that fucking bank.
You're crazy.
But I know. Look, man, I could hop on a ship with Ulfgar's friend and head off to Isenra and never come back to this fucking place ever again, but you know me.
Yeah, I do. So, while we wait for the rest of Khan's gang to come back, let's do a quick jump over to our sleepover girlies. Is there anything that you guys want to do before you bed down?
I'm getting all my nails painted, and I'm showing off all of the shiny things I've collected. I'm like, I keep these specific coins because they're extra shiny, and I keep this specific coin because it's extra shiny. I have this fish hook I keep because it's nice and shiny. I have like clients just going through stuff. And clients like, and I have this hammer. That is a war hammer. It is a polished to a shine.
You any good with the hammer?
Klein likes the hammer, but Klein is not very strong.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah. Klein really likes to go up to high places and drop it on things, though.
That works.
Mm-hmm. Klein thinks that's usually more effective than Klein hitting people with it. Also, if it hits someone who's wearing a helmet, it makes a really funny sound.
Yes, it does.
I'd pull out my dulcimer and be like, Klein has this.
A fellow musician. Look at that, Lith.
That's.
It's Klein's prized possession.
Do you
We've got-
do you want to play it? Roll a performance check. You can add your
Motion did
proficiency.
you just make to play a dulcimer, Cryo?
Hmm?
What motion did you just do to play a dulcimer?
Not a dulcimer motion. I did this, which
Yeah.
I know is not a dulcimer motion. It's just funnier if I do that, though.
Are you proficient with dulcimer?
I am.
Oh, then you can roll that instead. It'd be either charisma or dex plus your proficiency plus that.
If I can add my proficiency to this, I rolled 22.
22, yeah, you begin jiving with the dulcimer. Hell yeah. Lithrain kind of like begins bobbing her head in tandem with the rhythm. She doesn't like get her stuff out and play as well. Just kind of enjoying the part that you're doing. And when you wrap it up, she's like, surprisingly better than the guy that we were, hanging around the other day. You think they're brothers, by the way? Because that's a coincidence, isn't it? 2 Air Genasi in one?
Oh, Klein doesn't like to assume about anybody's familial relations to one another.
Well, sure, I'm not assuming. I'm just questioning. It could be possible.
Do you think all tieflings are related?
No, I don't. But what I'm saying is, it's just weird that they're, in the same line of work, probably around the same age, right? One of them's a little bit
From
older.
the same city.
From the same city. I'm just saying.
Now Klein is questioning familial relations, which is against Klein's first rule.
Well, don't think too hard about it. I'll think too hard about it.
Okay. I prefer letting other people think for me. That's usually easier.
That's fair. It's about this time as the night is ticking on that you hear faint squeaking outside, and then the jangling of metal, and the door in the room next to you. And then someone goes in and shuts it and locks it.
What room next to us?
It's the room where the whispering was coming from.
Klein senses mysteries.
It looks over at Lith like, eh?
I feel it in mine. Not mine heart, mine. And not my gut.
You did not just look down as you said that.
Yeah.
Tieflings
Oh,
have weird
boy.
body anatomy. The heart is not what you would expect it to be.
Oh god.
I
Alright.
looked down at my chest.
I can't see where you're looking!
You can! Cameras are on!
You hear
Yeah, from my
them-
perspective, it does not look like you're looking at your chest. I'm gonna say that right now.
You hear talking coming from the next room. It's very heavily muffled, so all you hear is but you do recognize the person speaking to be Peregrine.
Now, why would a man who told us not to go into that room be in the room and talking to? What if it's the spirit of his dead wife? Hmm?
That's a possibility. What if it is?
What if they had a child and he keeps the child locked up in the room so that the child stays safe, so that nothing bad happens to the child because he's so traumatized by the death of his wife?
That's a pretty heavy assumption for familial relation.
Are you speaking from
This is why
experience?
Klein doesn't think about familial relations. Am I what?
I'm not sure if you were speaking from experience or if you were just theorizing.
Oh, no, Klein has never been locked up anywhere. Klein is very good at not being locked up in places.
You see Lith go over to the window of this current room and open it, stick her head out, and she says, "I'll be right back." And she just walks over the side of the window and then walks alongside the wall of the house around to the back end.
Klein like sticks his head out the window and watches, and then pops back in and is like, "Did you know she could do that?
I
He just
did.
ignores gravity."
Not what she's doing, but she is brilliant.
She comes back
That's
a
not
minute
what she's
later.
doing. Gravity make you go down, and she don't go down.
She kind of says, "The fucking curtains are closed. I can't see in."
Oh.
I'm out of mice.
Line is not built for the snooping and the sneaking.
Damn.
Line is built to destroy.
Are there any like little rodents or anything around? Or little creatures?
Make a perception check.
Eee, what's my perception? Dirty 20?
Yeah, you've heard skittering in the walls. You imagine there's probably some family of mice or something that's in there. You just don't know how to get to them.
Need for this. Aw. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to broadcast? Sort of. Just any small friends come here, I guess.
Okay.
I'll give you cheese from the charcuterie.
How loud do you say it?
Hey! Not loud enough to cause a disturbance. Like, probably went to the opposite wall and was just like, hello.
Okay, yeah. So you call out, and nothing answers.
Damn. Yeah, we'll try, like, a smidge louder.
You try it a smidge louder, and you actually kind of see outside in one of the trees that is like just not super big, but like it's trying to survive on the outside of this wall, in the faint bit of grass that they have here. In top of one of those, there is what appears to be a thin, like red-colored squirrel with a big bushy tail. And it kind of perks its ear up and then looks at you. At the same time, you feel doof, doof, doof on the wall next to you, as if someone's banging at you to calm down.
That will hold up left like a handful of that she swiped from the charcuterie board from earlier to the squirrel.
Yeah, the squirrel kind of like skitters along the branch and like head's tilting. You see the nose going before it like climbs down the tree at rocket speed and then like looks up at you from the ground. Roll an animal handling check for me.
Oh boy. Hilariously, I don't have proficiency with this. 18.
18. Yeah, it like sidles on up towards the windowsill, kind of like sniffing at your hands as you go.
Hi.
You hear this tiny, tiny voice come out of the squirrel, and it says, "How are you? You gonna give me that
All right.
cheese, or?"
I will give you some of the cheese now, and the rest after you do something for me.
Well, that depends on what I'm gonna do for you.
So listen for a little bit. Let me know what you hear.
Have a listen where?
there is a room right next to us with some weird whispers and somebody we know inside, and we can't make out exactly what's happening.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so very charismatic.
Well, you're offering cheese with this, so you can do it with advantage because you're giving an incentive.
Thank God. I rolled the same number. It's 5.
5. Okay. I'll just go on to... As long as I can stay on the outside of the house.
There's a windowsill.
That's fine. I don't want to get smashed by a broom or something.
That would be unfortunate. There was a broom that probably could have done that in this room. Moved on its own.
I don't know what that means, but I don't want the part of it.
Very fair.
Kind of like it's slowly reaching out for the cheese.
It gives, like, part of the cheese.
Yeah, he just like grabs it and shoves it in the side of his cheek. Big bulge appears. Okay, I'm gonna go in here. And you watch as he kind of like shifts around the side of the house. Lithrain, who is still kind of perched on the outside, just shuffles over a little bit so he can sit on the windowsill. He just kind of listens for a minute before the talking stops, and the you hear like this dull thud, just this before the locks begin to unlock again, and the door opens, and the locks begin to relock, and he goes off. The squirrel kind of comes back and says, "I think he's gone."
Right. What did you hear?
I don't speak human.
That would be an issue, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I can speak to you because you have magic.
Didn't think that one through.
Yep.
Didn't think that one through.
And then so yeah, but I heard it.
Right.
So can I have that now, or
How do you know what a broom is then? Wait.
because I can understand you? It's magic. The rules are loosey goosey.
You knew what a broom was before I brought it up.
No, because you told me.
You know the rules of magic.
No, you were afraid of being smashed by a broom.
Equa, I'm gonna have to back Grace up here. You brought up the broom first.
Yeah, that, you know, that's
You
a
brought up
that's a
the
really
bloody
good
broom
point.
first.
It's a good point, and you know what? It's because now you can understand me, and I'm converting myself to a language that you can understand in this weird amalgam. And like, Klein, all you hear is like.
I love the weird, intelligent stupidity of this squirrel.
Yep. So.
I'm just. How the fuck did the squirrel know what a broom was?
It's just
I can't
you know what?
understand humans.
I know what it looks like, so I know what it.
How do you know what
is.
it's called?
It's just in this translation thing that we're doing.
That's not how.
That's how it works.
That's not how it works. What did pray tell, little squirrel friend? What did you think? What did you think a broom was before I mentioned a broom?
Well, I know what it is, and I thought what it is. I just didn't
How
know.
did you know what it was?
I didn't know the word for it, but then I suddenly you can
knew
speak.
the word for it.
Well, you
before
can
I said
speak
it.
to me, and then I know.
Fucking
I
stupid.
can't tell if Grace is fucking with Equal or if Grace is actually not rapping her head
It's a
around
both.
the translation bit.
Oh,
The spell affects both of you, right? It affects the
yes, I
communication that you can
understand
have
that.
with him.
But
So he didn't know what the word for broom was until this
you
spell
said
took
the
hold.
word for broom before I brought it up.
He doesn't speak English, Grace! He didn't say
The
anything!
magic is translating him.
Yeah, all you hear, like, all the rest of you hear is like this. And that's it.
So really, what he probably said in squirrel is like the hay stick.
Mhm.
This is too much for neurospicy brain. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that one through.
Okay, I'm just gonna take this now. She kind of reaches out for the rest of the cheese.
Flicks the cheese at the squirrel.
Yeah, you flick the cheese at the squirrel and it takes it and says, "Thank you, bye," and just runs off.
I'm an idiot. That's fine. That's gonna use mental link with person, whatever the fuck her name is, Lith.
Yep.
Did you hear anything?
I did. I really.
I don't
heard
speak human.
Not very much at all. I heard him. I think he
want
threw
to-
something on the floor or at the wall or something, but that's about it.
Yeah, I got that much.
Yep. So, we could steal the key from him.
That we could do.
Or we could just, I guess we just wait until tomorrow. Probably also.
That works too.
Yeah, we should just do that.
We could buy a lockpick. Considering we're going to be robbing a place, I think
Does
it might
anybody
actually
sell
be
those?
wise for more than
That
one
feels like they
person
would
to have a
put us on a
lockpick.
watch. Buying a lockpick feels like it would put us on a watch somewhere. Just saying.
You don't buy it from like a normal store.
That fair. Sorry, Grace is just an idiot.
Grace is not
That's fully
recovered
what's
from that
happened.
last encounter.
That
is
is-
what's happening right here.
No, that last encounter only happened because Grace is fucking stupid. So, I'm gonna shut
No.
up for the next 45 minutes.
God, you're fine.
Go ahead.
All right, so we'll go buy some lockpicks in the morning after we bust into that room as a spider. I think it's what we should do.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think he likes me, or just gonna sits down?
the good talking one?
Yeah.
I think that you have playful banter, which is usually a good starting indicator of chemistries that could lead to romance.
Oh, I don't know if I like him though.
Oh, well then, like, why do you give a shit?
I just like to be liked, you know. And what if I do decide that I like him?
Okay, I mean, that's understandable, but, like, I think he might be in a similar position to you right now, where it's like the banter's fun and maybe the intrigue is intriguing, but, like, you don't know if you, like the person or not.
Yeah, you're right. It would never work between us.
I didn't say that.
It's alright. I'll come to that conclusion on my own anyway.
I feel like you came to this conclusion before this conversation started, and you're just doing this for the drama.
But I do like the playful banter.
That's good, yeah. Keep him around. Have that. That'd be nice. Maybe you could do like a long, slow burn, like on and off thing where no one knows really where it's going, and not including the two of you. Like, you don't really wrap your head around whether it's romantic or not, but you just enjoy one another's company. And Ulfgar can also be there, and he can just be like a funny guy who's around.
Maybe that'll be what I do. You never know.
Yeah, I can't see the future, so I don't know.
And so the night goes on. Is there anything else that you guys want to do?
God, I'm gonna go to bed. After I get all my nails painted, just going to bed.
Sure. So, as much as I would love to dive into Akan and his gang, we are going to have to save that for the next session because we are just about over time for this one. Sorry, BK. But
It's cool.
you'll start with it next time, I promise.
Fucking got him.
Yeah, so we're going to end that tonight's session there. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. It's so good to have Grace back. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Help make up the party a little bit. and we'll be back next time to continue this story. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for coming out. Let's keep making stories together, and we'll see you next time. Bye.